young blood. Come Friday night, bring on the big flood. Like September's coming on, summer won't be back for long. Hey, let's start a big fire. Let's shake it up. Let's try to burn brighter. There's no one here to catch our fall. No one here to hear us call.
Message. Dear home. Stop.
Hi, my name is Geneviève Paré.
My name is Ian McFarlane. We are Mudfoot Theatre.
And we make junk art.
My grandmother used to take old Barbie dolls and fix them up and collect shoes and had like drawers and drawers full of Barbie shoes and would knit new clothing and reconfigure new outfits and put these dolls together to give them to women's shelter, to children who were in need. And so that was sort of my first, I guess, taste of that, of somebody taking junk and remaking it, giving it a second life. And I think that has really resonated with me.
I think Lane was my first avenue into junk art, into reappropriating found materials, because he lives for it. That is his life. That is his practice.
Garbage is it's just thrown everywhere, and we see it and it gets discarded, and it has this one-way ticket to the landfill. To me, I'm more of an opportunist. Like, I'll use whatever's available, but the fact that I'm not paying for it is a plus. And that's where the opportunity comes into play, is like, well, I don't think I really need to spend a ton of money to make something magical.
So the show that we're doing is called River, a Puppet Myth. And it's telling the story of the Bow River, the birth and death of the Bow River, through a series of myths. But this one's different.
And the Bow River was
his
spine.
And the Elbow River was his
violin.
Violin.
The show is unique in that it's dealing with a very specific landscape, the landscape of the Bow River Valley.
We set a personal goal to make all of our puppets out of found materials. And so it was necessary that we had to go out and find these things, and we thought, why not go down to the river and pull objects from the river, and that narrative will already be in those objects as well, the narrative of the river. So we invited the community, people showed up, and we went down to the East Village in Calgary and started cleaning up trash along the riverside and filled up 2 bins of usable junk and about 12 garbage bags of unusable junk, and the river looks a lot better now, so go team.
Personally, I've always been interested, like I've always wanted to know how something was made. I would like take something apart, try to put it back together again, and junk art is just, it's got that level of like obviousness to it, of like, this is obviously a helmet with some sort of roof chimney thing attached to it. It's kind of the main character's way of communing with satellite dishes and their homeland, and it's like a communication sort of thing. So it's like a post-apocalyptic Pope hat.
Because it makes me feel good, and you know, if I feel good, then what more do you want?
Every single discarded artifact is laced with story.
I don't really like the term junk art. It kind of leads people to think that it's just garbage, but it's particular garbage. I prefer found or reclaimed, just because it has a different connotation. Like, it's that we're not, you know, that there's another level to it rather than just like a bunch of garbage and thrown together and mishmash. That there's a refinement to it. I think the challenge is interesting, and it forces us all to like think about how the materials come together and what choices we're making and being more conscious about those choices, so that, and I think the audience will see that.
I think it is not on purpose, but it is inherently political because of our current situation and the current situation of theater and how theater's nature is to be wasteful.
We create a show over the course of a month and it runs for 2 weeks, and all the materials, the tangible physical materials that we've created for that show, we can't store them indefinitely, and most companies don't produce their shows over and over again, and so that's sort of the end of life for them. And so if we can take an object and give it a second life or a third life or a multiple life in our show, that's just resourceful. It's just a beautiful, it's just the right, correct thing to do, I think, in the time that we're living in now.
Behold, I am the laureate of the ancient tongue. The river flows from my lips like the currencies of old.
You know, if you want to, you can build a vehicle out of it. You can build buildings out of it. You can build, you know, you can build infrastructure around using reclaimed materials. Like, you can squish it down, and then it's not about aesthetic anymore. I'm using the aesthetic to leap off of, and I think that's really interesting to people to see, and it sends a message. I think that's the balance, is like not masking it too much that you lose the message.
You're taking something that has story, that has meaning, and letting that speak for you. It's this beautiful accidental spectacle.
To find this really unique piece out there that suits this purpose, that fits this, or can get transformed into this other, you know, this other form, it's not junk to me. It's like, it's just the world.